Hey everybody, it's Robert with the Secret Wine Society. Today I'm at Cellars with Scott and Jennifer. We're going to taste through some amazing wines. We're going to learn a little bit about Cellars, where they came from, what their vision is, and we're going to tell you how awesome these wines are. So Scott and Jennifer, tell us about yourselves.
Well, both of us come from previous family winery backgrounds. Jennifer's family founded Airly Winery up in the Willamette Valley in the 80s. So we had a Willamette Valley girl here. And then my father founded Henry Estate Winery in 1978 up here in Umpqua. I was winemaker there for 17 years or so. Cellars we launched in 2012, Jennifer and I. And after literally decades of working with Pinot Noir and Pinot Gris, we really wanted to focus on what we thought were some really up-and-coming, rising star varietals out of Southern Oregon.
So how'd you come up with the name Cellars, just out of curiosity?
Well, so
I love your label, actually. So I love maps.
So do you want to talk about the label some? Most wine labels, having again been in the industry for a long time, most wine labels come in two different categories. It's usually a name, like a family's last name or somebody's name, the owner or winemaker, or it's a place like Coyote Rock or Salamander Creek
now
or something.
You've got some weird graphics like skulls or something crazy dumb, right? I don't like gimmicky labels.
We wanted something that would connect with people and something that they could resonate with, and was something that was very iconic and very fundamental. And having spent my whole life here in southwestern Oregon, where we have the seasons, the season to us is a very strong word. So not only the weather that's going on, the season we're in, but
you actually have a map of the area here.
Yeah, so we took a compass rose, and the compass is in quadrants, right? And that's direction, and the seasons are in quadrants, and that's time. So we made what we call now the season rose, and we say our byline is everything under the sun. So there's our little sun: winter, spring, summer, and fall, instead of east, west, north, and south. So compass rose usually appears on a map. So we put it on a map of our favorite place in the whole world where we work and make wine and raise our kids. So it's a map of literally southern Oregon. So that purple dot there, it's Crater Lake, north and south Umpqua, the Rogue, and the Applegate River.
I love it, because there's some pretty lousy labels out there. I mean, you've been in our wine shop, and some of them are pretty pedestrian, and some of them try to be too gimmicky. I like this.
Oh, that, or they look like some sort of, I always refer to it as some sort of 7th grade graphic design project or something like that.
Well, maybe.
And this is our one chance to actually, most businesses have their sign over the door or whatever that people come, but our wines travel and go everywhere. So this is our sign over the door. This is
they definitely made it to our shop.
It travels right now and wants to represent us out there wherever it goes. And so it was very important to us to create something, a label that had meaning to it.
Okay, so let's taste through some of these, because I can't wait any longer just looking at these bottles in front of me. So what do we have here?
We'll start with Viognier. And do you want to
nice color
talk about it, Jennifer?
So Viognier is our main dry white that we do, and anyway, like Scott said, when we started Cellars, we asked ourselves if we were going to make the 900th Pinot Noir and Pinot Gris that would be on the shelf, and we went and we decided that we wanted to focus on what we thought were rising stars out of Southern Oregon, and we think Viognier is going to be the next Pinot Gris on the shelf as soon as people can really learn how to pronounce the name.
Well, that's the first step, isn't it? Pronouncing it. But even if you get it wrong, just smell this stuff. I mean, you'll be a believer. So tell me about how you made this particular.
Well, we, Jennifer and I make all the wines together, but we don't own or operate any vineyards. So we source grapes throughout southern Oregon, Umpqua, as well as Rogue and Applegate Valley fruit. And these grapes come from Daisy Creek Vineyard in Jacksonville area. The grape can be kind of hit and miss depending on warm or cool years here in the Umpqua Valley. The Willamette Valley doesn't really have much of a prayer getting this grape right, but down in Medford, down in the Rogue Valley there, it is a perfect grape down there. It's an early ripener, comes in around the end of the first week of October. So about when they're starting to pick Pinot Noir in the Willamette Valley, Malbec and Viognier are ripe down there in the Rogue
So
Valley.
all stainless?
Actually, no. We've bounced back and forth, but the style that we like to bring forward is limited oak barrel fermentation. So 15% of the volume is done in a three times used barrel, French oak barrel. And that will ferment through very quickly at cellar temperature in about 8 to 10 days. And then we'll actually surly it and stir the lees like we're making Chardonnay for that one barrel. And that guy gets a lot of really rich
Like
depth and mid-palate,
yeah.
creamy mid-palate, but it just destroys the incredible varietal fruity qualities of the Viognier, which is, tropical
So you can't
citrus,
overdo it.
pineapple. Yeah, so then 85% of it then is done in a stainless steel tank. Very slow, cold fermentation, retains a lot of those fruity qualities. And so the barrel fermentation adds a little bit of mid-palate texture to the wine.
All right, I'm going to try this.
As
This
well
guy's making me
as,
thirsty here.
As well as leaving just what we call threshold level of residual sugar. So about 0.6% or 6 grams per liter. So it's not going to be bone dry like a Chardonnay or a classic Sauvignon Blanc would be. But it should finish dry and rich on the palate. That little hint of sweetness also adds mid-palate kind of roundness and fullness, and also makes the wine go incredible on the table with spicy foods. So with that little,
You're right, that mid palate is nice and round. There's a lot of fruit there, a little bit creamy, but it's not overdone. This is delicious.
Thank you.
I really like this. So is this the first year that you've done Viognier?
No, we've done every year since 2012.
12.
Yeah, it's our focus white varietal. Yeah, and the 18 that we're tasting, we're getting ready to release, was gold medal winner and top rated Viognier in the Oregon Wine Awards that happened earlier this spring. So
Okay, very good. So what do you recommend we go on to next? You got a rose.
next, I would recommend the rosé of Pinot Noir.
Well, that's got great color.
We're doing a rosé series so
Whoa.
that we can utilize different grape varietals in different years that are available to us.
That color is amazing.
And this is the second
I
one that
love
we've
it.
done with Pinot Noir. So it's hard to keep it kind of short on the rosé department. There's different ways to look at it. Either you pick the grape, less ripe and have better acid and balance, or you pick it closer to being ripe enough to make a red version of the varietal, and then maybe have to add a little bit of acid.
Well, that
back in
color
the
just,
fermenter.
look how vibrant that color is. That's
And
amazing.
So we gave it a couple of days on the skin. So it's kind of a hearty style of rosé. It's gonna do well with the winter type foods for a rosé.
Say
and-
Thanksgiving and rosé, perfect
yeah.
combination.
Yeah, with the cranberry dressing on the turkey or
That'd be
whatever.
fantastic. All right, let's try this.
So well, most people don't know. There's different ways to go about to make rosé. But when we have fruit comes in that's dedicated for the project, then we're pressing off the skins rather quickly to get a lighter one, and it's really a shame to not extract a little bit more of the true varietal characteristics of the grape that we're working with. So we let this one soak actually about 2.5 days, and we pick up a little bit more color, but it shows qualities of a really light, like
Red,
like a Pinot Noir, like a Beaujolais or something. It's got the bright red fruits and raspberry or cherry, and we get a little bit of strawberry
Yeah.
and rhubarb.
That's-
Rhubarb.
I agree with the
Yeah.
rhubarb. That's,
Yeah.
this rosé is dynamite. That should be on your table for Thanksgiving. That is stunning. Okay, we're gonna move on to the sake of time here, or for the sake of time. You reckon? What about this transparency?
We're gonna skip that guy and
Oh,
end
man.
with him.
All right, okay. He knows I love that too much.
No.
All right,
So
so
we're jumping to Syrah,
okay.
and this is kind of a referred to as kind of a Rhone style Syrah. It has 13% Grenache in it, along with 87% Syrah. So the Grenache brings in brighter red fruits and more acidity, so that extends the length of the finish, but it's a lighter bodied red. And so it's more of a European style Syrah. Not a heavy duty. A lot of Syrahs, I refer to them, they're kind of clunky and chunky, very big,
Over-extracted.
way over extracted, dude. Oaky, like they're trying to make Cabernet Sauvignon out of Syrah, and that's not what my experience of what I've tasted from the Rhone area is what it's all about. So
I was just drinking some Crozes Hermitage this morning, and yes, the style is closer to that.
yeah. So Jennifer refers to, with the addition of the Grenache, hitting more spots on your palate rather than just all, you know, you got it dancing around doing different things, and it makes it go on the table with a wider range of foods. So not only
Yeah, I can see that.
grilled, barbecued, smoked meats, but it'll handle
Meatier seafood.
yeah, meaty fish is the way a heavier Pinot Noir can do, like salmon, swordfish, tuna, pepper crusted, seared albacore.
All right, we'll be over.
And the Syrah are incredible, man.
Yeah, this is a lovely Syrah. This is a lovely Syrah. It's pretty, nice aromatics. And like I said, it's not just this over-extracted monster. This is very well done.
And it's
Loving
a
everything so
14.
far.